Hi everyone, it's Michelle with My Sweet Frivolity. Today I have a video where I want to share with you my Archer and Olive notebook collection. And I want to preface this by saying that I am new to Archer and Olive. I am also new to using notebooks in my daily life and for planning purposes. And I first found Archer and Olive a year or two ago, but wasn't really in the space of using notebooks for my planning system. And then in May of this year, of 2025, I sort of switched over and rethought how I was wanting to plan and creative play, and a notebook, a blank notebook, seemed the best option for me. And so my first purchase with Archer and Olive was in May, and since then I've really fallen in love with their products, and I definitely have amassed a bit of a collection, which I think is common in the stationery world when we find a certain brand or a certain style of stationery that we like, that we start collecting it. And so I think that once I get to the 1 year mark or close to that, I'll have a whole year of history of understanding the sales and their releases and how the subscription boxes work. So I think my collecting of notebooks will probably shift and transition more from a no holds barred, all in, let's get everything we love that I can on my budget, versus, at some point I'll probably move more into a thoughtful collection and adding things into my notebook. But I really love their products, and I want to share with you what I have. And I'm going to do this in chronologic order in terms of what I shopped along the way and what purchases I made. So I'm going to start out with my first purchase in May, and this was the self-care box that I got, and I loved this notebook. This is an A5, and I started using it, sort of setting up items in the box where I tried to do a little bit of affirmations and gratitude. Started to use some of the stamps in there and the washi tape, a little bit of journaling. I actually printed off for free this creative wellness handbook, and I started going through the prompts in the pages on here and answering some of these things, because I'm in a stage of my life where my husband and I are now empty nesters, and trying to kind of get back into discovering who I am. So I did start doing some of this notebook, and I'm not crazy about the decoration that I've used in here. Not that I don't love the decorations, but just how I've set it up. Did a little bit of calligraph playing with a stencil. But anyway, so this notebook I did start using, but haven't gotten back into it. Probably will repurpose this in the near future, because I do love the design. Then my second purchase was I started to subscribe to the quarterly subscription box, which a lot of people are familiar with, but if you're not, 4 times a year they have a quarterly subscription box where you're guaranteed at least 2 notebooks. It is well over the $79 in terms of value, the $79 price for the box, but you also get random other stationery items in there. But the 2 notebooks that came in that, which are on the current Black Friday sale, but unfortunately sold out within the first day, are this Traveler's Notebook. And I only have a few Traveler's Notebooks. This is very beautiful. I love this vegan leather cover. But it also came with this A5 sort of buckram fabric cover. And these are really popular on the Black Friday sale. As I mentioned, they sold out. But that was my second round of items I received. And then they had their summer Night Blooms release, and I saw this notebook and I fell in love. But I thought, well, I haven't really started using the notebooks I have yet, so maybe I hold off. And then this one, it sold out, but they made it available on pre-order, and I ended up ordering this while it was still available during the release, but then I never received it until September because I was on a pre-order status with this. But I just love the design of this. Again, this is an A5 notebook. This is vegan leather. All of their paper is 5mm dot grid. You can get lined and blank notebooks as well in some of their offerings, but it's 160 GSM, so it's a heavyweight paper. The A5 notebooks are generally 192 pages, so plenty of writing space, but this is a beautiful notebook. It's one of my favorites in my collection. And then we had after that was just a separate purchase. I think I wanted to use my discount code because new in the subscription box, you get a discount code to purchase. That code you can use up until the next sub box releases. And so, of course, I had to get something to use my discount, my coupon of 15% off. And so I purchased these 2 notebooks here. So let's start with this. This is my first square notebook I got. It's the 8x8. Has this antique floral design to it in green with gold gilded edges. And thinking that I might turn this into a reading journal when I first purchased it. I think it's very beautiful. Love the spine. And then I got the A5 Wonderstruck. And this has this gold, or sorry, instead of gold gilded, this has a silver on the edges. Again, you get 2 page holders or bookmarks. Always has a weighted ampersand logo on one of the bookmarks. But so then that was number 4 purchase. And then I received the June subscription box, which came with these 2 notebooks, The Beekeeper's Garden. These also were available on the Black Friday sale. However, they have since sold out, which I'm finding how popular the Black Friday sale is. But this here is a B6 size, and I think a lot of people are starting to use B6 sizes more. Previous to this year, I was in a B6 Sterling Ink Common Planner, so I'm familiar with this size. I really do like it a lot. But I like to do a lot more decoration in my notebook, and so sometimes I go through these notebooks faster, or I anticipate going through them faster, but very, very lovely notebook. And then I have the A5 notebook. There's usually, in the sub boxes, there's always an A5 notebook, since that tends to be sort of the standard bullet journal size, but this is cool because it has these lavender pages in it. And I've seen some great examples online of how people are using this. And so here's the binding, the cover again, and the back cover. So that was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was my 5th box that I got from Archer and Olive. And then they had their summer sale. This was my summer sale. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was a mystery bag, and I'll explain that in a second. But it was because these notebooks were really a good deal on their summer sale, and I thought, well, I'm getting my collection kind of built, so I'm going to take advantage of this sale. And so I got these 3 B6 sizes. Sometimes when you're buying things on sale, you tend to pick up what you can as things sell out. So I have another of the, I forget the exact name of this, antique floral, I can't remember, but this is a B6 size. And then I have this, which I think was part of their spring release that year. This has these birds on the front, and so I'm pretty sure this came from their spring box, but again, I wasn't really on Archer and Olive website up until May. So here's this, and then this is their storybook line, and they had it available in pink. It's got silver edges to it, and so I did pick up one of these. Then I bought a few of the A5 sizes. This here, I'll start with this one. This was a mystery grab bag that I was able to purchase, and it's really fun because it came and it's actually their Wonderstruck, but it's watercolor paper. Now, I'm not a painter or a drawer. It's something I would like to expand a little bit of my art skills, because I believe art is something that you can, with enough practice, get a skill set built. But this has watercolor paper and they are tear out, and so this was kind of fun to get in the mystery grab bag. And then again, I think at the time I just really was in love with this pattern, and it is very beautiful, but I have since purchased other notebooks, so there's probably going to be some gifting of one or two of these notebooks, since I have 3 of them now in different sizes. And then this here is the Storybook in Warm Gray. I love this notebook. This is my main everyday carry, and I will probably do a flip through of this. I'm almost done using this. As of November 22nd, at the time of this filming, I have maybe 10 or 11 pages left. So I will be setting up a new notebook here probably within the next 1 to 2 weeks. And then I did get a B5 size notebook. I believe this or something similar to this is available right now during the Black Friday sale. Maybe not this size anymore. I haven't checked currently to see what's sold out and what hasn't. But this has sort of a cloth cover to it. But that's what I got in the summer sale. And then the fall release came out. And at first I didn't get anything in the fall release. And I think that I held off for a few days just because the summer sales came a month or 2 before that. And so this is what I picked up. I picked up 2 B6 journals, and interestingly enough, these are on the Black Friday sale. So, but I do really love this. I love this color. I tend to like the vegan leather covers more than the others, but there's a lot of beautiful notebooks that aren't in vegan leather cover, in a vegan leather cover. And then this is the Field Mouse. So very fun. Both of those notebooks. Nothing on the back side, but the front covers and then the spines would look really quite nice and delicate and simple on a bookshelf. And then came the subscription box for the fall, which is the Night and Day. And this A5 notebook that came with it, I think is just stunning. It's a deep bluish purple, has a very pretty stars design on the cover. And look at this. This notebook, gilded edges. Whew, love that. So pretty. So that came in the subscription box. And then this, which I actually think is really cool. I'm not sure if this is a 5.5 or 6.5 by 6.5 or 5.5 by 5.5. I'm not quite sure the exact size. I measured it once and didn't write it down, but this has your, it's like 2 notebooks in one, and so it has your day, which has, I think 112 pages in it. And then when you get to the end, you open up to this side. Just testing out my nameplate there, but this is really actually a cool idea for a notebook. I like it. I've thought about doing day and night pages because I do tend to do morning pages, and so I might use this as a tester because I do have a few other blackout and other colored notebook papers that I would like to start kind of figuring out spreads and doing things in, and I think this might be a good size for some research to see how certain markers or pens work on this, certain stickers. I things like that. So that was the, that was technically my second cycle of subscription box, but my third total subscription box, because when I started, I was after the spring subscription box release. Okay, then the Halloween release came out, and I don't know what was happening with me, but I was obsessed with the Halloween notebooks. I remember even posting something on Facebook just to get a feel in the Archer and Olive community, because again, being new to Archer and Olive products and only being in this for a handful of months at this point, I was like, I literally, I think I posted something like, is anyone else losing their mind over this Halloween release? Because I was so excited for it. And so this was my initial, yes, I said initial purchase. So I bought these 4 notebooks, and it was the first time I had ever really considered buying a blackout notebook for myself. And so I bought these 2 A5 notebooks. I purchased the Lunar Veil. I wanted to try something in blackout pages, so that's the reason I bought this one. And I was thinking in my head, well, these are going to all go so quickly, and some of them definitely did. It's just that I think that this was my first time ordering from Halloween, so I wasn't sure what to expect. And then, man, when I saw this Coiled Key notebook, I was in love. I was like, that is freaking sexy. This is such a beautiful notebook. It's like this cobalty sort of grayish brown color. I don't know. It's just stunning with a very subdued, not bright gold, but kind of more subdued soft gold gilding on here. I don't know. And it has these deckled edges, right? So the edges of this notebook have this torn appearance to it, and I just think it's freaking cool. And so I picked those 2 up, but then I also picked up the Coiled Key in an 8x8 blackout. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use this yet, but that's okay. I really, really liked this. And then I did get the Halloween box, because I've heard in the past it's sold out, so I picked it up. And this was the notebook inside it, which I just think is stunning. This is sort of a silvery green, in terms of the tree branches on the side, and here's the spine and the back cover with the moon in the front. I mean, this is just really, really nice. So I was excited to get that in the Halloween box. And so that was my purchase with the Halloween release. But then this happened. This little guy right here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me just try to... This is the A5 stencil, which ever since I started purchasing on Archer and Olive on their website, this was never in stock. It was like sold out. And I put myself on the email list, and it seemed like it took a while to come back in stock, and maybe when it did, I didn't have anything to buy at the time, and it sold out again. I don't really know. I just remember wanting to pick this up. So, of course, I didn't want to pay and only get that. So I figured, well, they're having a sale on some of their Halloween release, so I might as well get 2 more notebooks. So besides the stencil, the A5 stencil, what I got was a B6 Lunar, and then this is just in white pages because my A5 is a blackout. And so I picked that up. And then I did their mystery bundle because I was like, hey, mysteries are fun. Why not? And so I got yet another, this makes number 3, of the Coiled Key. And I think I may repurpose one of my Coiled Keys, but again, deckled edges. It's a beautiful notebook, so I'm not sad that I have it. But that makes number 3 for the Coiled Key. Okay, so almost to the end of my collection and kind of spanning what I've started to grow my notebook collection with. So the winter release came out and I fell in love with the winter release. It's all up my alley. All the colors, everything's just beautiful. I was fortunate enough to get an Advent box. So I do have the notebooks from that here in a second, but these were the 3 notebooks I picked from the release. So this is the B6, and it has this kind of mint cloth cover. I can't remember the name of this notebook, my apologies, but this debossing on this cover is stellar. And just the flower design, I thought this was beautiful. So that was notebook number 1. This lamp post, whoo, chef's kiss, so lovely. Just a few subtle snowflakes on the spine. Just the color itself on the back notebook. But this went on pre-order that first day. It was very popular. This is the A5 size with the trees in the front. It's just a beautiful, beautiful notebook. I love the blue color of it. So I did pick that up. And then this was my favorite. This I got in a B5, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be my next notebook after I finish these last few pages of this. You can tell, kind of gravitate towards this design. It has a similar aesthetic to the storybook. And so this one here, being a B5, I'm going to learn some new spreads and how to size things, but I'm really excited for this notebook. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. And so I'm pretty sure this is what I'm going to use here starting in 1 to 2 weeks. And then I haven't opened these yet. I just took them out of their boxes that they came in, but they still have the plastic on them. So this is the personal size. They came 2, and normally I think personal sizes are about 112 pages, but these have 194 pages. So the same as a regular A5 in terms of its thickness. But these 2, I think these again are so beautiful. I love the colors. I love the design on them. I was very excited to see this. I watched the videos on the 2024 Advent box, and I think there was some less excitement compared to this year because some of the things people weren't in love with, but they really knocked it out of the park with their Advent box this year. So those 2 notebooks came in, and then again, the plastic is still on. I haven't taken these off yet, but this is the Traveler's Notebook that came in the Advent box. And then this is the A5 journal. This kind of rose gold detailing on this. Very pretty. So those are my current notebook collection. Now, I did order some things on the Black Friday sale. I've ordered 6 notebooks. 2 of those are going to other people, and so I was excited to pick up some good deals. But all in all, I had, before the Black Friday, 32 Archer and Olive notebooks. I have 8 of the B6, 13 of the A5, 2 Traveler's notebooks, 3 of the squares, 3 of the B5, and then other square because I wasn't quite sure the size of this. Again, I think it's either 5.5 or by 5.5 or 6 by 6, and then 2 of the pocket extra large journals. So very excited about my Archer and Olive collection, and I hope that you find joy in using the products. I know that I do, and I'm excited to see what the next 6 months bring, and I really hope you enjoy using them as much as I do.